Hey everybody, this is Freedom is the Right, welcoming you back for a brand new video review, and today we're going to be taking a look at my very first masterpiece figure. Now, if you'll recall back in my first video, I did mention that I would only be reviewing Generations and Studio Series 86 figures because that's what my collection consisted of. I did, however, say that in the future I might be doing Masterpiece, other Studio Series, and third party. Well, it looks like later on has come a little sooner than I thought it would, and I am really excited to take a look at this Masterpiece figure. This is MP-19 Plus Masterpiece Smokescreen. And this guy is just gorgeous. I've had so much fun playing around with him. He's a really great mold. The coloration and the paint on him is just fantastic. And I will say that this is a MP-19 Plus because the original MP-19 figure was done in a more, I guess, toy accurate deco, but now that Takara has decided to go with a more toon accurate masterpiece aesthetic, they've kind of updated some of the earlier versions with a plus that is more cartoon screen accurate decos, and there's a little bit of a different face sculpt on this version as well. And for me, I always love a more cartoon accurate figure, so I absolutely love that. And also one other thing I'd like to take a look at is this little collecting card that comes with the figure. It's really nicely done. It's a great piece of artwork on here. And coming to the back, there is a picture of him in robot mode and vehicle mode. And there's also some tech specs and other things. I can't read them, they are in Japanese. But yeah, I like the little trading card. It's a nice little touch. And without any further ados, we are going to go ahead and get into this. And coming in here, we can take a look at this really fantastically done car mode. He looks absolutely awesome. And coming in, you can see nice paint. There's paint all over this guy. He's got a nice off-white here for the front bumper. Some blue here as well. Nice Autobot insignia on the top. Great red paint and color all throughout on here. Coming to the side, you can see the wheels. They are painted in the center on the rims with some white paint. Number 38 here on the side. Coming to the back, you can see it's so clean. Everything obviously compacts up really nicely. You can look at the underneath here. You can kind of see hands, arms sticking out here, but that's about it. He does roll really nicely, which is great to see. And overall, he's just so well done. And honestly, the Datsuns are kind of one of my favorite figures to get from any line. So I'm excited to also add Blue Streak and Prowl. I think they're going to be a lot of fun too. And we do have some accessories that come with him that can be utilized in robot mode. The first of which is this piece right here. So basically this is to recreate his smoke screen that he makes in the cartoon. And it doesn't peg in anywhere, but you just kind of can place it behind the tire here, and it looks like he's pushing out some smoke. You can put it up there. You can also put it up on the front tires, coming out of here even maybe. So there's a lot of options with that, and also this does also break apart into two pieces. So you can also even have him like that, having two different smoke plumes coming out of the back, or again, even like the front wheel. So there's a lot of options for display with this, and it's a really cool piece. I'm glad that they included this. And this is a piece that was not included in the original MP-19 release, so this is a really great added thing for that. The next thing, of course, we can take a look at is his gun, his blaster, which is done really nicely. Some nice detailing, great paint all along it. And this can, of course, store in his vehicle mode. Now, the storage for this, to access it, it's a little obnoxious. You do have to do a little bit of transformation. So we're going to pull this down, and we're going to come to the top here, and we are just going to want to pull this apart. You can take out doors, and we're going to want to disconnect here and come inside. And as you can see, there is this little piece here that's going to flip out like that. And now we can go ahead and put him back together. Plug this back. Yeah, so as you can see, it's not the most user-friendly way to get your weapon storage out. So that's kind of one complaint I have about this figure. Now we can just take the handle and collapse it up, and you're going to be left with this peg here, and there is a hole in the back, so you can just plug that on. Like so. And there you have his gun stored in the vehicle mode, if you want to do that. So we can go ahead and set that off to the side. And all in all, that pretty much does cover it for the vehicle mode and all the features you can use in it. So without any further talk about that, we can go ahead and get down to transformation. Alright, so coming in here, the first step we're going to do is we're going to come up here, and we're going to go ahead and pull this assembly down. And you can see there is plugs here, and they tab with these here. And so the first thing we're going to want to do is pull these, hinge them out, straighten these out, and then we can go ahead and rotate here at the ball joint, so everything's facing like that. And the next thing we're going to want to go to is the door sections. You're going to want to pull these out, open them up, and coming to this side, doing the same, open this up. And now the next part we're going to want to do is push up on the hood here. So this is going to pop that up. And now we can go ahead and detach this section right here, and the hood is going to just hinge kind of out of the way for us. Next step we're going to want to do is pull this forward, and now we can push the head and just kind of push that through so it comes to the top. Now the next part we're going to want to do is we're going to want to come to these little side mirrors and pull these sections down, and they are on a double hinge, and you're just going to want to tuck that right up in here. Now we can go ahead and do the same on the other side and bring that down and tuck that right up in there. So now that we've done all this, we can go ahead and bring this whole assembly down, and as we're doing that, we can go ahead and rotate these up. Just like that. And so now we're going to want to just plug in this here is going to plug in up here. And it's fighting me a little bit. Let me see. Oh. And you do want to make sure that these are tucked in correctly, or everything's not going to sit the way it's supposed to. Alright, and you're just going to give this a little push on the front until it clicks into place. And now the next thing we can go ahead and do is bring down the arms and rotate them forward so they are oriented correctly. Just like that. Now we can come back here. And we're going to come down to the legs here for a moment. I'm going to pull this apart, and we're going to come down here to these sections. And you just want to hinge them out, slide them out like that. And now what we can go ahead and do is hinge this back And we're going to come in here, and when you're pulling these out, you do want to be careful. The clearance is a little shaky on this, and you don't want to scrape off the paint because these pieces here are painted. And it's going to come right there to the shoulder. You can do the same on this. And hinge it out. And now we have that sitting there. So next thing we can do is we can go ahead and fold this piece in, and there are little slots here for the tabs. You can tab that in. So now we can go ahead and turn to the legs. So the first thing you're going to want to do is come here and just untab that. There's a tab in there. And then we can extend the leg like that. And then this is just going to kind of slide out on this little double hinge in there. And at the same time, this piece is going to come up, and this piece just fills in the gap here. Now the next thing we can do is side this up, flip out his heel spur, and then we can come here. This is going to click down and then sit and rest there. Now we can turn to the next leg, which is the same process. And this one's a little bit harder for me to get out. Just gotta try to get your nail in there. There, like that. And again, we're just gonna fold down the leg like that. And on the double hinge, fold this out. This piece is gonna come out and forward so that it fills in the gap. Can fold this piece in, flip out the heel spur, bring this down, bring it down like that. And there we have his legs done, and we can go ahead and rotate him at the waist so everything is facing forward. And angling up a bit. You can take a look here, and we are just about finished. So the last little piece of transformation is going to be here on the wings, and we're just going to hinge these up and push them back, and do the same thing here. Hinge up, push back, and there we have Masterpiece Smokescreen transformed up into his really nice looking robot mode. And yeah, he's done really well. The paint is really nice on this guy. It's very animation accurate. It's kind of like he jumped right off the screen. And coming in here, we can take a look at his head sculpt. It's done really nicely. It's all painted, kind of an off-white for the face, blue for the eyes, nice yellow little horns here on his face. You can see the Autobot symbol up here again. Nice kind of white paint here for the legs. Transforms up pretty cleanly overall. A little bit of a backpack here. And yeah, overall he's just really well done. And we can, of course, bring in his weapon again. And just flip this down to roll up the handle. And we do have here for the hands. There's a little tab in the palm of the hand, and it slots in with this. You can close that up, and there he has his weapon. And you can also utilize the little smoke effect. You can have it coming off his wheels again. You can split it in two Have him posed out like that. And one last thing that he comes with, and this again is something that didn't come with the original MP-19 figure, is he does have the optional faces that come with a lot of MPs nowadays. So the one he has on right now is just kind of his static regular face, and you're just going to want to pull this face forward and it'll pop right off. And now coming in with his first face, we have this one here. And this one is just kind of a happy looking face. So you just want to plug that right onto him. And there you have him all happy and smiling. And pulling that off, we have the second face, second optional face I should say, and this one is just kind of him yelling, like maybe he's blasting somebody. And I personally, for display, just kind of keep the static face that he came with on. But yep, it's really nice to have those options. I love the optional swapping faces for Masterpiece. And we can go ahead and take his weapon for a moment and take a look at articulation. So the head is on a ball joint, I believe, and it does look up and down. It can kind of tilt side to side a little bit. It also does rotate 360 degrees, which is nice. The shoulders, these do rotate the full 360. They're on a ball joint. You do get a nice double jointed bend there. There is bicep rotation, of course. There is wrist swivel. The hands open and close. There is rotation here at the waist, rotates really freely. Thigh rotation. He does get a pretty decent range of bend there at the knee. He does have a little bit of ankle tiltage going on here. Can hinge the toes forward and back. So yeah, overall the posability on this guy is really great. And that does pretty much wrap it up for his robot mode. And coming in here for comparison, unfortunately I only have two other Masterpieces to compare him to. And this is Masterpiece Ironhide. So you can see how these two look together. And raising up here a little more. Here he is with MP-44, Masterpiece Optimus Prime. So you can see how those guys look together. And that just about wraps it up for Masterpiece Smokescreen. This guy is a lot of fun. I really love this mold. Like I said, I'm excited to get Prowl and Blue Streak as well. He's got really great paint. He looks super animation accurate. I love the swappable faces he comes with, the effects part, the little smoke effects part. And overall, he definitely earns the title of Masterpiece for me. So I definitely think I'd have to give him a solid 10 out of 10. I don't think anything really could have been improved upon all that much. He doesn't really have a backpack. Everything transforms really nice. The transformation is enjoyable, which is really nice to see. So let me know down below if you agree, if you do not, and until next time, I will see you all later.